Maybe you did not find this message by accident. Maybe you have been asking God questions you are too tired to say out loud. Lord, how much longer? Why did you allow this? Why did that door close? Why did the prayer I prayed with all my heart seem to receive no answer? And perhaps the hardest question is, God, can I still trust you? Because trusting God is easy when the path is clear. It is easy to believe when the door opens. But what happens when you are standing in the middle? Not at the beginning, not at the breakthrough, but somewhere between what you prayed for and what you can actually see. Maybe that is where you are right now. You have prayed, you have waited, you have tried to stay strong, but deep inside, you are tired of believing without seeing, and maybe God is not asking you to understand everything today. He is not asking you to know the entire future. He is asking you for something simpler and harder. Trust Him one more time, not forever all at once, just for today. One more prayer, one more step, one more surrender. Because God saw every moment you kept going when you wanted to give up. He saw the tears nobody else saw. He saw the nights when you wondered if your life would ever make sense again. And somehow, you are still here. Maybe you think you made it through those seasons by yourself, but perhaps God was giving you strength so quietly. You mistook it for your own. You may not see the entire road ahead, but you do not need to. A lamp does not show the entire journey. It shows the next step. And maybe that is all God is asking from you right now, the next step. You do not have to have perfect faith. You do not have to stop crying. You do not have to understand everything. You can simply say, Lord, I am afraid, but I am still here. Lord, I am confused, but I am still listening. Lord, I do not understand, but I do not want to walk away. That is faith too, because the power of faith does not come from how strong you feel. It comes from the one you are trusting. And perhaps this season is not proof that God has forgotten you. Maybe He is preparing you, protecting you, redirecting you, strengthening you. You may not understand the silence today, but one day you may look back and realize God was working in places you could not see. So breathe, take the next step, and when you feel you cannot trust anymore, say, Father, help me trust you one more time, because your story is not over, and the next chapter may reveal why God asked you to keep believing. Maybe the question is not whether God is working. Maybe the question is whether you are willing to trust Him while He works in ways you cannot yet see. Sometimes God's work does not look like progress. It looks like a closed door, a delay, a loss, a redirection, and because you cannot see what God sees, His protection can feel like rejection. His timing can feel like silence. His redirection can feel like disappointment. But what if the thing you are crying over is the very thing God is protecting you from? What if the delay is not punishment? What if God is preparing you for something you are not ready to carry yet? Think about Joseph. He had a dream from God. But before he saw the promise fulfilled, he experienced betrayal, rejection, false accusation, and prison. If Joseph had judged God's plan by the middle of his story, he would have believed everything had gone wrong. But the pit was not the end. The prison was not the end. The delay was not the end. God was still working. And maybe you are judging your entire life by one painful chapter. But one painful chapter does not determine the ending. David was anointed king. Yet he spent years in the wilderness before sitting on the throne. The promise came first. The preparation came afterward. And perhaps your waiting season is not wasted. Maybe God is building patience, wisdom, discernment, character, faith. Sometimes you are waiting for God to change your circumstances, while God is changing you within them. But remember, trusting God does not mean holding on to everything forever. Sometimes surrender is faith. Sometimes the most faithful thing you can do is stop fighting for what God is removing. You can love something and still be called to release it. You can want something deeply and still discover that God has another direction. A closed door does not mean God has closed His heart toward you. A delay does not mean you are forgotten. A loss does not mean your future is over. And when fear tells you this is the end, remember, you do not know the end yet. So if you cannot trust God for the entire journey, trust Him for the next step. One more prayer, one more day, one more surrender, one more time. Say, Lord, I do not understand what you are doing, but I believe you are still with me. Because the God who carried you through yesterday has not forgotten you today, and your story is not over yet. And now, after everything you have been through, there is one question left. What will you do with the trust God is asking you to give Him? Because trusting God is not only something you say during a powerful moment, it is something you practice every day. When you wake up anxious, pray. When you do not know what comes next, wait. When you feel tempted to force a door, surrender. When your mind begins imagining the worst, return to God. You do not have to solve your entire life today. You do not have to know every answer. You do not have to understand the entire plan. You only need enough faith for the next step. Maybe you have been trying to carry a future that was never yours to control. You have been carrying the outcome, the timeline, other people's decisions, the fear of failure, the fear of losing everything, but you were never meant to carry all of that alone. Give it back to God, and when fear takes it back, give it back again. Surrender is not always one dramatic moment. Sometimes it is a daily decision. Lord, this belongs to you. You may still feel afraid, but you can pray while afraid. You may still feel confused, but you can obey while confused. You may still be waiting, but you can remain faithful while waiting. That is what real faith looks like. Not pretending everything is easy, but choosing God even when everything is uncertain. So stop measuring God's love by how quickly He changes your circumstances. A delay does not mean abandonment. A closed door does not mean rejection. A painful season does not mean your story is over. And your current situation is not the final definition of your life. God has not forgotten you. He has not lost sight of you. He has not abandoned you in the middle of your story. The same God who carried you through yesterday is still with you today, and He will be with you in whatever comes next. So today, take a breath. Release what you cannot control. Pray about what you cannot understand. Wait without giving up. Walk with God one step at a time. And when you feel like you cannot trust anymore, do not demand that yourself feel strong. Just whisper, Father, I do not understand. I do not know what comes next, but I choose to trust you. One more time. And maybe that one decision will change everything inside you. Not because every circumstance changes immediately, but because you are no longer facing the circumstance alone. Your current season is not the end of your story. The unanswered prayer is not the end. The closed door is not the end. The loss is not the end. The waiting is not the end. God is still writing. And if God is still writing, then your story is not finished. So if this message spoke to your heart, comment, "I trust God" one more time. Let that be your declaration today. And if you want more messages that remind you to keep walking with God through every season, subscribe to the channel, because you may be waiting, but you are not forgotten. You may be confused, but you are not alone. And even when you cannot see the road ahead, the God who holds your future is still holding you. Trust Him. One more time.